ThunderCats!
Thunder! Thunder! Thunder!
Hey, how are you? I'm Larry Kenny, the voice of Lion-O, here today for my good friends Ryan and David. You may know if you listen to the podcast Radical Retro Rewind.
I love it. All of it.
Radical Retro Rewind.
She even looks older.
Likes my art collection?
Yeah, we've heard that one before, Mummy.
What is it? I heard him shout.
Oh yeah, ThunderCats! Ho!
Who you calling a hoe?
Welcome back, Bunglers, to another episode of ThunderCats Reviews, brought to you by the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. As always, I am your host, Radical Ryan Hunter, here with everyone's favorite brother, David, for another episode of ThunderCats Reviews. Hi, David. This is literally a week after our last episode with Sean Buddha McEwen. We wanted to get that double episode out for you. Of course, we wouldn't be a month without double ThunderCats episodes. So here we are, 2 weeks in a row.
Yes, and that last episode with Sean was jam-packed with a lot of information, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and a lot of future juicy information and some stuff for us too that I'm really excited about. So I'm just excited in general. Excited for him, excited for us, excited for the ThunderCats fans, excited for the community. A lot of information, a lot of possibilities, a lot of good things, and a lot of, again, which I quoted, and you can quote me, this people, I'm just going to put it out there. We are people's
gateway drug.
No, we're people's, I'm not going to appoint, but no, I am going to point this. We're good luck charms. Our podcast might not be that lucky. But anybody that comes on our podcast, #1 songs, selling out their books. Anybody that comes on our podcast always has good news. We might be only making $8 a quarter.
We have to ask Lovely Leah, who else? Zach. We have to ask, Matesh is coming next month, and we are so excited. It's actually his birthday.
Super cool. Super excited. And so happy he chose to spend it with us.
Yeah, of all the things.
Obviously, he's going to have his family too, but this is just like a little pit stop for him, for us to see us. But
we're actually recording this episode in time because, let's say, Bunglers, this is Friday. We're recording on Monday with Matesh 2 more episodes, so we had to get this in as well. But speaking of the community, I did want to talk about the holiday special a little because Sean was on and we didn't want to take the focus away from him.
But he was on our special too.
He was on our special, so let's talk about it a little.
Talk about it.
Before we get started, Zach has to get so much praise for the work he did, the hours and hours and hours of work, like staying up till probably like 5 o'clock in the morning. Every
night, flying out, taking like our concepts and fine-tuning them and adding stuff to it and actually making it cohesive, because we have ideas. Like, we have a lot of ideas, and
he made it into English.
Like, we have a lot of ideas, and we definitely bring stuff to the table, just stuff. But he made a whole script. He scripted it. Like, we had ideas and we have segments, and he's a professional. Like, he is an actual professional. Like, he is a professional.
He beat us. No, I'm just joking.
He beat us.
He took it very serious.
He was wearing that lino little uniform, but he was beating us behind the scenes. So I don't know what I'm saying, but like, he's an actual professional. This is something that he like, as far as creating a script. So like, my little thing of having been in a band and having done some little things here and there, being on like that little show Ballroom Boot Camp, and my little stint on Bewitched, the movie where I got cut out of.
Bunglers, I have a DVD rip of David being on TLC's Ballroom Boot Camp. I need to find that DVD and rip it somehow.
So basically, like, he took all of our stuff, elevated it to like the nth degree, and even down to like, anybody who knows a little bit about behind the scenes, like, even down to when you're recording something, they will help the actor. I'm not referring to us as actors, but like,
we had to act,
but the actors, they will put markings on the floor for you to where to stand.
Great point.
Like, things like that. Those are things that you don't see behind the scenes because you're not supposed to. He did things to that level. So that is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a professional. Like, he is a professional. Amazing. The special effects,
the lighting, even the lighting. We had to match a cue when our eyes light up. He literally put a red light on it. Like,
I mean,
on
literally, you
cue.
have no idea how we put this together, because even like when he left back home, had to like call us and be like, hey, can you do another voiceover because this did not record right? And we're doing voiceovers and sending voice clips and stuff.
Felt like a production, a real
It's amazing.
production.
And it actually gave me a real big thrill. Like I would love to do that more to some level. I mean,
behind the scenes, literally, I think we put a rough draft script together on Friday or Thursday. Zach flew out on Friday, and then we had to try to like learn the lines and the stuff with really on the spot. So, that was fun too. But it was just that way it actually came together, David, at the end. It was beyond anything I imagined it could have been.
And I honestly, it did for us what we wanted to do. We wanted to read any of the stories that were given to us by our bunglers. Yes. We wanted to express our gratitude to any of the listeners or the people that contribute to the podcast.
Yes.
We wanted to infuse our brand of ThunderCats humor.
Which I think we did.
We wanted to be informative, like with the comic book, which I had never even known about. I was calling it Romstein.
I still don't know. Ramastide.
I was calling it Ramadan. I was like, for a while, it was so like their actual holiday and what it was. I thought that was super cool because Carissa had brought it up, and then Kevin inadvertently again, and it was mentioned in the special, brought it up. And I thought it was such a us moment, and I thought it was amazing that we're like a collective and all, like, well, we kind of think the same way and all these ideas, and we were able to kind of give kudos to everybody too.
Besides Zach actually flying out and helping us and putting this together was a highlight. But David, I really loved the videos and the messages that Bunglers said. Like, I think it added like a little extra to the special.
All the stories and the funny stories, like about like the boots, the donation boots, and or about how Mitesh with the infamous VHS tape, and the story about the action figures and the toys and like
so good.
Chris, talking about how he had moved from the UK to Finland.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool. I thought he had his
it was so funny, a New York Giants, I want to say, hat, right? I love that
Giants hat on. I thought it was cool, but we're New Yorkers. Well, not anymore, but we were. Well, you're always a New Yorker, right? You're New Yorker.
It never leaves us. It never leaves us.
The accents will never leave us. But I just thought it was so cool and so nice. And it was, I hope that anybody that watches it sees the love that was put into it, and then sees some of the other bunglers and sees the stuff, even down to Mitesh's miracle.
Oh my God. Oil. Zach made that packaging. He put it together really quickly too. It was like just amazing. And we do hope it becomes like a little staple, a holiday treat that you can watch.
I want us to do so well that is something that will have to be auctioned off.
Charo.
Oh God, I hope we don't get any kind of like
Charo, coochie.
Charo during
Gilbert. And you asked for Charo. You wanted a special guest at Charo's.
There was something in the air that night. The stars were bright. Which Charo.
Just to say how fate, that song was recently just played on Stranger Things. So it's like, again, it was like, now it's come again. It's like, it was meant to be. It was meant to be. Charo singing Fernando from ABBA, Stranger Things, Christmas.
So I'm so excited. I hope it translated. I think
Leah's commentary track, which was another thing that Zach thought of to put it as Australian English. When you select the commentaries track, it's Australian English as opposed to just English. Just little details like that is just mwah.
And another Christmas song.
Oh my God!
That Ryan really had to spearhead, because that was thrown together really quickly, but it was very, very, very sweet.
But it played really well at the end. Again, the way Zach edited it with the thing, really cute song, and I hope that song too becomes something. The Ramastide.
We don't even know how to say it, but you wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it goes.
Here. I really did, and it was stuck in my head for days.
I really wish we would have put Santa
Bring My Man
somehow. But I'm sorry, that is a very good song, and I really am hoping.
Next Christmas?
I wish Kelly Clarkson someone would have said, Kelly, can you sing this song? Because it's one of those songs. It's just it's a very, what do you call it?
Put it out there in the universe.
Like I told Ryan, and this is something I'm putting out in the universe. We will be in the next
month or two.
The first podcast to have finished all of the original ThunderCats series. I don't care. Nobody can take this away. If someone comes behind us, if someone wants to redo it, I don't care. We're still going to be the first podcast to have finished, and the guests that we have had on and the guests that we will be having on soon, and the community, more so than anything, the community and the love that we have gotten, and the connections we've made and the people we've met that are part of like this whole bigger expansive world, and so even you know, the Samantha Newarks from Gem, and like that whole like that era, that 80s era that we're kind of that universe we're in, not necessarily even ThunderCats, but in general that we've made through this is priceless to me. You know, at the end of my life, you know what I mean, when I look back on these things, like I am going to say I did XYZ, and that's going to be one of the things that I say I did, and I'm going to be really proud and happy of it for it. I mean, of course, would I love this to be something more? Would I love this to be like being in a professional studio where we don't have to worry about every time we touch these mics is a problem?
If there was no editing involved, we would take over the world.
We would be pushing out content like crazy because that's all we would do.
God. So here we go. Any people out there want us to redo the series in a professional studio with professional lights and Ozempic?
I don't need Ozempic.
I do. I want the Ozempic. Oh my God, Bunglers. The horror of the Christmas special and my shirt, the boxiest shirt. It's gone, David. That shirt will never be seen again.
You didn't throw it out.
I put it on a shelf and I said, you will
believe
never
it
be
because that will be put in when you become famous. I'm going to sell that to the Smithsonian.
Be burnt.
I'm selling it to the Smithsonian. I'll put little pieces. I'll cut little pieces and send it.
Patchwork. It was the most unflattering shirt, and then throughout it, the buttons, and not because I was fat, which I did.
No, that was just it's horribly made.
For $45 Amazon shirt, it lasted for my actual birthday, and then this special, and all the buttons basically are gone.
I noticed that my sequin.
Oh, I have sequins everywhere.
My sequin. That's oh my God! It's like the drag queen sequins versus sequin.
Glitter was folding from
my
the
sequin.
Ceiling.
But not only was it like my arm kept getting stuck because the sequin kept cutting on the shirt itself, the link, but it was like riding, like the sequin jacket was riding up, so it wasn't exactly the most flattering either. But I mean, like, what are you gonna do?
Well, now we know for next year.
Now we know black from head to toe. It's gonna be a black Christmas.
I had black on, and I need
black from head to toe. No,
never sequins again. Eliza Minnelli,
with all of Zach's experience, he needs to
exactly.
I need the Vaseline lens.
He looked like a Lion-O stud, and
I want the Vaseline lens.
The Barbra Streisand lens.
I want the Madonna lens.
And again, just to bring up the community, and one of the things that we did tell Carissa we were going to do was not only dedicate the Christmas special, which I'm glad that Zach was able to fit that in, but we want to lovingly dedicate this particular episode of ThunderCats to Barbara Dickinson, who is Carissa's beloved grandmother, and she said it was the heart of her family, and she was born in Texas. So Carissa's just been amazing to us as well, and just the fact that we were able to maybe be a light and
or
a distraction, yes, in that moment was great, and it meant so much that she shared it with us as well, and the Bunglers. So Carissa, we are just so sorry. We hope that this does bring you a little peace, and that your memory of your grandmother will live on for anyone who listens to this in the future. Barbara Dickinson.
Without further ado, we're going to dive into the Mossman. No, I'm calling it the Mossman.
I call it Mossman. Mossman.
The Mossman episode, or I'm calling it Tygra's Reckless Swan Song.
Bunglers, this is the Mossland Monster, Season 4, Episode 13, with the original air date of September 20th, 1989, described as Tygra on a solo mission to New Thundera to meet the other ThunderCats decides to take a shortcut through a meteor shower. His ship is damaged and he lands on an unexplored region of New Thundera, the Mossland. Okay, Bunglers. We're able to see Pumaira one last time with Sean. Oh, wow, they really did like back-to-back goodbyes. Pumaira was last week with her chair.
But at least she didn't go out
reckless. Okay, so did they do, I mean, we'll get into it, but did they do Tygra dirty on his last episode going, see, this is why we don't put him in the show anymore. It's horrible.
was upset because I feel like there's something to be said. Again, I love a good continuity storyline.
Yes.
But Tygra's shortcomings seem to always be put constantly.
Yes.
And we've made fun of it, obviously. His obsessiveness, his addictive personality.
Yes.
Not that addiction is ever a joke, because it's not, but just in the context of us, you know, we laugh about certain things and we make fun of things, and that's us. But
well, it began with him eating fruit drugs. So I mean, there is funniness to that.
You know, when the series started, Tygra was the architect. He was the scholar. He was someone to be revered and looked up to. And so it kind of makes me sad, because I feel like, was this a purposely done? I don't know. I don't know if this was purposely done. I don't know if it was, I don't want to believe that they were trying to diminish his character, but at the same time, like, was he just was it made to be a weaker character just to be like, okay? Because it is like a character assassination.
Yeah.
He went through the silky fruit thing, the addiction, which we laugh, haha, but it's still an addictive thing. Then we went with the magic, the totem of Dara, right? That was an addictive problem. There's quite a few times that he has not lived up to what we initially thought about it. And again, that's okay. People don't have to necessarily live up to your expectations. However, it has diminished him in many ways. And now this again is another thing. He flew purposely into a meteor storm that he was warned not to go through purposely. Granted, I will tell you the first thing that kind of struck me was the fact that Lion-O even had to tell Panthro to warn Tygra. The first thing, as soon as I saw it, the first thing I would have done is I wouldn't have had to have this long conversation with anybody. I would have said, okay. It's like the first thing when I see like a bad thunderstorm is coming through, or snow or something, I would call my spouse to say,
oh, just so you know.
Or somebody, just so you know, I'm hearing that the weather's going to be really bad. Just be on the lookout, because you might ride into bad weather. I would have never had to have a long, drawn-out discussion with, oh, you better tell Tygra. No,
maybe
that would have been
Lion-O knew lately.
But I'm saying you shouldn't have had to tell Panthro.
No.
So that kind of like was a little off-putting for me. But that's like
that's
just a little nuance for me, because I'm setting up some bungle material. Because to me that was like a little bit like not a big bungle, but it was like stupid, because it's just part of that, like, first of all, not a necessary dialogue, and should have already been done already. It shouldn't have been like it could have been in how do I
dialogue.
Put that? It could have been in the dialogue. I told Tygra that there's going to be a meteor storm. Be careful. This is bad. So it didn't have to be he shouldn't have had to been told to do it. It should have been a done thing. In my mind, it wasted time that didn't need to be done. But again, I'm nitpicking now because we're at the end.
Hey, Lion-O, take a look at this meteor shower.
By Jogga, that's some storm.
About the worst one I've ever seen, and it's right in Tygra's flight path. I just hope he's picked it up on his radar.
Let's not take any chances, Panthro. You'd better warn him.
You got it. Cat's Lair calling Tygra. Come in, Tygra. Are you receiving me? Come in, Tygra.
Copy, Panthro. What's the problem?
There's a heavy-duty meteor storm right in your flight path. You'd better give it the bottom swerve if you want to stay healthy.
Check, Panthro. I'll set a course around it.
Better safe than sorry, Tygra. Catch you later.
Blasted storm? It's going to take me hours longer to go around it. Let's take a closer look. Looks like a pretty regular shower to me. I reckon I can handle it.
Anyway,
Literally,
so Tygra
God.
decides to go through, and here's another thing that kind of got me. Chitara is on Third Earth with Wildy Kid and Wildy Cat, and she basically makes it a point to say, get there, do what you have to do, and come back, because I'm stuck on Third Earth. She's like, I am not Pumaira. I am not going to get stuck on Third. I am Chitara, the pride of my clan.
Oh my God. First off, I forgot to mention, thank you to the ThunderCats Wikipedia for the synopsis and trivia we'll use, as well as our lovely Leah for the audio that you're hearing today and beyond. But my God, I actually wrote, I am laughing hysterical. Chitara on the twins are basically saying, get your ass back here, because we're stuck. She literally says, without the feliner, we can't go back, remember? And I'm like, Tygra's not that out of it, Chitara.
Well, apparently he is, because he jeopardized the whole thing going through a meteor shower that he didn't have to go through and damaged the ship. So how long do you think it took to take?
But does that just show how bad actually leaving maybe Tygra and Mumm-ra alone, it really is on their mental health? I mean, jokes aside, he was so excited to leave there. Matter of fact, they were like, I think Wily Cat was saying something like, oh, you might want to rush back or something like, well, no, what did he say? He won't rush back, and he goes, he'll be too busy reminiscing with Lion-O and the others, which I thought was actually nice.
He said, don't go chasing waterfalls, Tygra.
And they're both like, make sure you come back.
Don't leave us here. Don't leave us here. Don't leave us here. Don't leave us here.
I want to even say Chitara was like, how can we get refugees if I'm not there with the feliner? Tygra,
She's
can't
like,
stay
I'm
here.
having a premonition. So I'm going to spin around and they're by the kid, and while the cat is like, she's looking older.
Have a safe trip to New Thundera, Tygra.
Yeah, hope you don't miss Third Earth too much.
No chance, Wily Cat. I'll be too busy catching up with Lion-O and the others.
Well, don't forget about us. We need the feliner to return to New Thundera ourselves.
Don't worry, Chitara. I'll be back before you know it.
ThunderCats! Ho!
I mean, jokes aside, continuity-wise, he left from the Tower of Omens, which he was in charge of, so I love that they actually had him leave from the Tower of Omens. But in reality, this is sad, because they're even rushing him, really. Like, they're like, basically, go and come back. You're like, you don't get a break, Tygra.
You're not one of us anymore. You're a junior Thundercat now.
And Mumm-ra, we won't even acknowledge her. Do you think they're talking from the cat's lair to the tower? Oh, she's here. She's back. That's what Mumm-ra said. Everyone's favorite Thundercat warrior woman is here.
I won't even touch her to scratch her. Isn't that what Catwoman said? I wouldn't touch him to scratch him.
What about when they fought? Good, Chitara, try this. No, I don't know. By the way, David, I, for some reason, can remember watching this episode for the first time on Cartoon Network. It stood out to me. I think I remember going, oh my God, Tygra. He was back after forever. And at the time, it was one episode every day, like Monday through Friday. So I remember literally watching this for the first time. So I wrote, do you think Snarf actually was preparing like maybe Tygra's favorite meal? I would like to think that. Like, he's like, Tygra's coming. I better whip up some. Oh, no, later on, he wanted candy fruit. Isn't that funny?
He's like, Tygra's coming. Hide your kid, hide your wife, and hide your husband. Hide the drug fruit. Hide the silverware. He's going to take everything back to Third Earth with him.
But isn't it really funny, though, in the series in general, David, how it's changed so much? Like, the Cat Slayer is literally every time Panthro, Bengali, and Lion-O. It's a difference from...
Well, I have to say, I'm not upset that I saw Lion-O with Bengali again in the Thunder Tank.
Oh, this was a huge Bengali and Lion-O episode. Huge, like so many moments together.
That made me very happy.
So many moments together. So,
and it gave me one of my most favorite quotes of the whole series.
I can only imagine. I think I wrote it down there. They do warn him, like we said. Panthro tells Tygra there is a meteor shower, and very unlike Tygra, like we mentioned, because he was the scholar.
He basically
like
said, like, "Oh, it's going to take me hours." He probably thinking, well, Chitara's going to complain that I have to get back soon.
Maybe that's what it was. He's like, well, if I take too long, then I won't be able to stay there, and I'll have to come back here again on. I mean, this does suck.
Hey, something's wrong. Tygra's heading through the storm.
He'll never make it.
So he goes through the meteor shower. It causes him to temporarily lose control of the feliner. He starts to dive into the atmosphere, and he loses control of the feliner, but then pulls it out but crashes into the Mosslands.
A meteorite whirlwind. Now I have got problems.
Yes, and this is conveniently an unexplored area.
Not to be confused with Queensland,
and not to be confused with Mossman.
But I love
it is the Mossman Monster. So
I love saying Mossman.
Mossman.
Mossman is green, so I can't be seen. Ha ha ha!
He-Man, Mossman, Skeletor, and Triclops figures, each sold separately.
Look, He-Man's alone. It's 2 against 1. Wrong, Boneface. It's 2 against 2. Mossman fooled you! Yarg!
Mossman, new from the Masters of the Universe collection. Other action figures, each sold separately. From Mattel.
I wrote really great terrain. It's like alien-like, this area, and it evokes almost, I felt like dinosaur time, Western, because there's like these mountains. The color was really cool, and I do enjoy when they can explore new areas. But here we go, another dangerous terrain. It's just not Third Earth. Although this is, I guess, just a mossy area.
The Feliner's damaged, the communication system's down, and Tygra's marooned in the Mosslands.
That creepy place! We've got to get him out of there!
You said it, Snarf. So just keep an eye on the monitor while Panthro prepares the Thunder Tank for us. We're mounting a rescue party.
So there is no thought of immediate danger other than the fact that it is It is unexplored, uncharted, and there could be danger. So because in Tygra's attempt to get unstuck out of the moss, he does wake up this large moss creature, Mossman. Not to be confused with Mattel.
I think his smell was actually patchouli, I found out years later. It wasn't just pine, it was patchouli.
Hippie.
So Mossman is a hippie. The funny thing is, the communicator in the Feliner is damaged, but the cat's lair on New Thundera can see Tygra. They just can't communicate with him conveniently.
That was a close call. Better check in with Cat's lair. Nothing. Looks like I'm going to have to get out of this mess on my own. Better check out the damage.
We can see him, but we can't talk to him.
Only one thing to do, Panthro. We've got to get out there and find him.
One of the boosters is gone. Have to wire the other one for double thrust.
But if Tygra's Bolo Whip had that little communicator in it from season 1, he could communicate with them. By the way, did you notice that they used that transition that Zach used in the Christmas special a lot in this episode? It was like the cat's symbol and it would like cut through the screen to transition. I noticed they used it a lot in this episode. It's like the actual cat logo. It's cool. It's cool. You'll notice it.
If you say so. I was kind of juggling a lot when I was watching this episode.
Snarf is now in control of the communicator screen, and he's watching. And I kind of thought this was out of place as well because...
it kind of annoyed me, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, they're not believing Snarf. He says, Lion-O, get in here. He saw something over 100 feet high, some kind of creature. In cartoon fashion, as soon as Lion-O walks in, of course, it's gone. And he's like, sure, I think you saw something, Snarf. I would have been like, Lion-O.
Tygra! What is that thing? Lion-O! Lion-O! Help! It must have been 100 feet high, Lion-O, all covered in moss. It's attacking Tygra. Look!
Well, what's to see, Snarf?
What's to see? Yeah. It was there. I promise. You don't believe me.
I believe you saw something, Snarf. But 100-foot moss plant?
It's true. It's true. I swear it.
All right, Snarf. The Thunder Tank's almost ready. We'll get out there and investigate.
After everything they've been through, that they don't believe Snarf really annoyed me because, like, why would he make that up? It makes no sense.
Exactly. Why would he make that up?
It makes no sense in the scheme of things why he would do that.
And I mean, it's a throwaway line, really, because it's just for him to go, see, look, I told you when it appears. But it's so, at this point...
in all honesty, it really wouldn't have made a difference to the setup,
no, not
to be
at
honest
all.
with you. So I don't understand why.
Not
other than the
at
fact
all.
that they were maybe taken off guard for a moment. Would they have been more prepared?
I think it was so odd.
Could they have brought flamethrowers to burn the moss?
Maybe, actually. Could they have brought He-Man?
You know, everything's a weapon.
Everything is a weapon. Tygra actually sees this creature very... What would you call him? I was getting like... What did I write he looked like? Zelda? Legend of Zelda-esque?
Okay, I can see that.
NES? but gigantic. It looks like a green creature, but he's got like a yellow stomach, big.
His eyes were pretty cool though when he was charging up his eyes. Because when he shoots beams out of his eyes that he can, and he turns stuff into
things to moss,
or covers them in moss at least. And Tygra's like, see what you could do while I'm invisible.
And he calls him an overgrown zucchini. So here we go, bunglers. Another list of vegetables/fruits that survived Third Earth. Zucchini.
Okay, you overgrown zucchini. If that's how you want to play it.
Although, what type of zucchini?
I just recently found out that zucchini is one of the things, if there is an apocalyptic event, one of the things that you should grow because it grows, and you should let it grow because it can grow very large. You shouldn't cut them when they're very small. You should let them grow. They can grow up to like an arm length, and that they can be stored for very long periods of time without going bad.
Oh my God, so there you go.
Just something you should know.
So this makes sense then.
For any of my bungler preppers out there, and they can grow in very small spaces and even grow on vines.
Bungler preppers out there, that's so true. Doomsday preppers. So there we go. Zucchini survived with the cockroaches and share.
Apples.
Pears. And also...
And Mexican food.
Pizza. And, don't forget, candy cane.
Well, that's candy fruit, so maybe that mutated.
Became a soft peppermint now. It became like a soft peppermint.
Well, I do love a good soft peppermint.
Mints. He does go invisible, like David said. For his final episode, we did get to see Tygra go invisible.
But I would have loved to have heard his...
Dun, 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 dun. Nothing, David. What do we get? Mossman can see him too, by the way.
I need time to figure this out. Now you see me. Now you don't.
He's like, I will use my x-ray goggles and find you.
He met his match, a creature that can see invisibility. Isn't that convenient?
Works for me. So he got mossed.
He turns Tygra into a bush, basically. And he also turns the Feliner. He covers it with moss and throws it. So the Feliner is covered with moss. Tygra is now a shrub.
And Chitara ain't getting back to anytime soon to New Thundera. Sorry, girl.
She might be actually screaming at the Tower of Omens.
Maybe you should find some gold. She's like, maybe there's some remnants of gold left with the Inflamer's old haunt.
Oh my God, the kittens. Chitara has us looking at this mountain for some reason. You will look while I'm here.
Aren't you the one who said I looked old? And aren't you the one that went with a stranger just because he laughed? And aren't you the one that doesn't even know how to use your hoverboards properly?
Oh.
And aren't you the one that tried to get a chicken to become a ThunderCat?
Kudai. And all this while saying, damn it, Tygra, I knew he was going to mess up. This is why we left you here. Scandalous.
And Mumm-ra keeps calling. I'm not going back to Cat's Lair. She's a horrible housekeeper.
Actually, if you think about it, if you really think about this, jokes aside, they really chose. They're like, no, Mumm-ra's boring and Tygra's boring.
And they knew that all the gay boys loved Bengali and Lino.
There you go. They knew. 1989.
They just knew. Artists know.
They know.
They just know.
So.
Bros know.
So this is really great. There's Snarfer.
And Lino and Bengali.
Where did Panthro end up? He's never seen again, right? He's never...
Does it really matter?
No, it doesn't because...
It's Lino and Bengali.
Bengali and Lino are in the Thunder Tank, and Snarfer and Snarf are
talking about it.
In the back of the Thunder Tank, and he's like, I saw this thing, and Snarf is like, even Snarf is like, yeah, I believe you, uncle.
I'm telling you, Snarfer, it must have been 100 feet high, all covered in moss.
Yeah, right. Okay, Uncle Snarf, I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah, well, I'm glad someone does.
And then Bengali makes a symbol like you're crazy. God. Bengali goes, oh, he's crazy. He does this,
And Lino looks like he's like.
He does the symbol like when you take your pointer finger and kind of spin it like the person's like crazy.
And Lino gushes. I'm telling you, he goes like he laughs like. That's when I said, wow, they're flirting.
They're smitten.
He's driving the Thunder Tank, Bengali. Lino's getting to lay back finally.
Lino's in the passenger seat.
You make me feel like a kitten. So guess what? Snarf didn't make it up. There's a giant moss man.
I'm sorry, I have to go back. I am shipping Lion-O and Bengali because they have been shipping them for the last couple of episodes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and this is actually...
We're going to have a whole episode of Lion-O and Bengali. I am shipping them because they were shipped. I don't even remember them doing this. They are shipping them hard.
I feel like they're retroactively rewriting this now, knowing.
It's the Mandela effect.
Like, there was a moment. I wrote that down myself. Yeah, Bengali and Lion-O flirt.
But did they become the most popular at the very end?
Bengali, I think, was popular because, honestly, I think his colors are very striking.
He's fresh, and he was like more... And he was more like Lion-O was back in the day because he did, for a little bit, when he had screen time, he was more
had screen time? When he had screen time.
He was more like, why can't I just go?
Yes,
why can't we do it? Which is
reckless.
I don't know, what's the word?
I guess ambitious, but impetuous is another good word.
Would that be it? And just like gung-ho to do things and not thinking.
Impatient.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of why he's appealing, because it's kind of like a younger version of Lion-O. That like how Lion-O's like where Lion-O's starting to
mature and become a leader
role, and he's kind of like reviving that kind of younger. And I can see where they would do that. Obviously, we laugh and like I said, I ship them or whatever. But like the bottom line is,
I'm think you're right. Like, actually,
like he kind of embodies that whole like a younger Lion-O.
And not even that, it is the younger crowd too. He's more energetic. He's more action prone. And I could see if you put Tygra and him up, Tygra does come off almost like an old
stuffy.
But again, they didn't write him like that in this.
Honestly, I feel like they stunted the growth of at that point, and because they weren't going to do any more character development at this point, they stunted the growth of Panthro, Tygra, Wily Cat, and even Chitara at that point. They kind of hit their wall. Bengali being so fresh and new, still like, because even down to an episode or two ago where he combined his hammer attack with Lion-O's attack, that was something we'd never seen before.
And they're doing it again this episode, a different double.
So it was something new where there was like a combo attack, which was really kind of cool.
You're right.
And so again, refreshing and something that knew that a character could do before that we had never seen before, because I don't remember, like you saw them all shoot their weapons at one time, mumm-ra, whatever, but you never saw them actually
There was that one time when we joked when it was like a Power Rangers Panthro Wily Kit or something, and I remember that, and they did like this shooting but it was basically that was it. It's true, and we never did see this combo. But also his design, handsomeness aside, I really think it's his design. It's bright, it's colorful, he pops out. The white and that blue does pop out on the screen as well. So, and again, sell those toys. They, like, these are newer characters, sell the toys.
And the other thing is, I want to say is that I can almost see even where Linkso could also be appealing, because Linkso is like Jaga light.
Yes.
Because Linkso laughs.
Yes, he does.
Linkso does not talk down to people.
No, he uplifts
Linkso
them.
actually uplifts. Linkso can actually have a conversation with Snarf.
Yes.
And actually have and you can tell that when he, at least the way I see it's written, he'll talk to somebody and know that he's more intellectually superior to them and still not talk down to them. I don't know if it was written like that or it's just the way the character is, but I have seen him talk to, and you can tell he's thinking, he's not dumbing down the conversation with the person, but he's talking appropriately to the person, which is what it would be like someone, like I would talk to a child, not talk down to them, but talk appropriately to them, but not talk down to them. And he does that, where Jaga always comes off as an a-hole most of the time. More recently.
Yeah, recently he's been a little better.
He's been better after you found out that he left Jagana pregnant and destroyed the planet.
That's what it was. After Frogman, he's like, my legacy is coming to an end.
That was never proven. It was never proven, but I just
run the test, Maury.
That's right. And the nominees are.
Oh my God, Wily Cat were actually.
But the bottom line is, I feel like that where obviously he's also more likely to be, because he's alive, as opposed to Jaga being a spirit, he's more likely to be around. But he was more of a...
I love Linkso. I think he's a great character.
And he was also, at one point, he was the yin and yang to certain things. Like he couldn't be taken by Aloro's.
He was Snarf. He was Snarf of the Thundercats.
Because he couldn't see.
Yes.
You know, the ball, so he could not be taken over by Aloro's mystical powers. And
he was able to combine with Chitara and use their psychic abilities.
So there was a lot to be said about what Palmyra kind of, like her biggest thing, her big moment was Mumm-ra's belt thing. But honestly,
But they could have done things with Palmyra. They could have done so many things.
She could have done a lot of things. Even,
but I think
even we laughed about the healing thing, but she could have brought out some kind of, like, if all the Thundercats became ill from some kind of poison or something, where she could have come up with something if it was given the opportunity.
Or think of an episode where, again, they had only a certain amount left.
Yeah.
But think of an episode when she was on Third Earth and she is by herself and she had to you're right, like Tygra's encapsulated in something or
a new threat comes to Third Earth that could have opened up another character, like another thing that she had to take it on her own.
Let us write those comics. Let us write those new comics. We got some stories.
Anyway.
So the Moss Man is alive.
Mossman.
Snarf says, "See? I told you," basically at one point. The Jolly Green Giant, David, is also mentioned by Snarf.
Yeah, just wait till I see Lion-O. No monsters indeed. Who does he think this is? The Jolly Green Giant?
Not the brand, I guess, but is it just because it's become like part of the popular culture? The Jolly Green Giant. Not just, it doesn't mean just broccoli and peas.
You mean ho, 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 green giant.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, is it because at the time it was this popular culture, I guess?
He says ho, 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 doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Green, yes.
Is it ho, 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 green giant?
I want to say it's ho, ho. It can't be o, o, o.
Is it o, o, o? Or is it? Oh,
it
we
has
gotta
to
look
be
that
ho,
up.
Ho, ho, ho. My God.
Oh, God, don't let me quote me on that.
Multiverse. Again, the multiverse.
Before we go any further, we got to see what is the Green Giant's catchphrase? Ho, ho, ho.
It is ho, ho, ho?
Which became his official tagline in 1961.
Where's everybody going with all the good vegetables?
The Giant's making stuffing.
Stuffing?
New stuffing originals.
Make dinner special, make it great. Green Giant stuffing, just can't wait. Celery, onions, seasoned right. That Green Giant goodness really shows tonight.
New stuffing originals brand made with garden vegetables really make the meal.
That Giant's got the right stuffing.
Ho, ho, ho. That Green Giant goodness really shows.
Ho, ho, ho. Green Giant. Yeah, he says ho, ho, ho.
Wow.
So, the Green Giant
exists.
Is a ThunderCats fan.
Maybe he was one of the stone giants.
Ho, ho, ho.
Who got
Green
mossed.
Giant.
Who got mossed.
So, they realize that they cannot, every time they attack the moss creature, he just grows back and he can't be defeated.
His
they shoot
arms
him. They shoot at him and it just basically goes through him.
Ho, ho, ho. Green Giant.
And a matter of fact, we gave it to Tygra. We should have mentioned he whips his arms off for a minute earlier, and they do break off, but they come back. So Tygra, you did do that, and literally though, David, that's it. Tygra's gone until the end of the episode, and the whole time I'm going, "Wow, he's a bush. He's a bush. Damn it, he's a bush."
No! Oh, what's happening to me? I can't move my legs. I'm stuck.
Lion-O and Bengali are mossed at this point?
No,
this is later on.
They all get into the thunder tank and they start climbing up the side of the ravine.
Amazing. This is amazing because Snarf is driving the thunder tank and I need him to drive every damn time now. He is a boss. Even when he has to do the rocks later, Lion-O and Bengali are trying to push a rock off.
I made note of that. They make it, even though the thunder tank is stuck for a little while because the moss guy shoots at them and they get stuck. Snarf manages to free the thunder tank climbing up the side of a mountain, and Lion-O comes up with the idea of basically throwing like a landslide of rocks on top of it, and they start, Bengali and him start pushing a big rock, and Snarf
use the sword.
Snarfer's like,
first off,
Snarfer's like, let's go help him, and Snarf's like, no, we're gonna use the thunder tank.
I thought that was so smart.
Quick, get in the thunder tank. We'll try and hold this thing off.
You got it.
So he just basically creates a landslide with the Thunder Tank. Super smart Snarf.
So Snarf is you at this point. Throw the freaking rocks down on him.
I like the fact that immediately Lion-O tried to use his brawn and work harder and smarter, not harder. Work smarter, not harder.
I mean, yeah, show off your impressive physique and your strength, but couldn't the sword just go ho and break the bolt? I mean, it gave Snarf a really cool moment.
Wait, stop the tank.
What are you thinking, Lion-O?
If we can start a rock slide, we might just be able to stop that thing.
Come along, let's give him a hand.
I've got a better idea than that.
So they thought that they got him, and he broke free. He jumps out and breaks through the thing, and he ends up mossing. Well, wait, there's another scene where my favorite part.
They're in the back of the tank too, Lion-O and Bengali.
I quoted it.
He says, "Is this when you're talking about? Now you're talking Bengali. Give him the double whammy." And then Bengali says,
"Let's see how he likes the mighty hammer of Bengali." Let's play that again. Let's see how he likes the mighty hammer of Bengali.
And the double whammy.
I don't know what this thing is, but it looks like it's going to be a tough nut to crack.
Hang in there, Bengali. Let's give it the old double whammy.
Now you're talking.
I would like to see the mighty hammer
Now you're
of Bengali
talking Bengali. Give him the double whammy.
And the double whammy.
Let's see how he likes the mighty hammer of Bengali.
This was a Bengali Lion-O episode.
You just have a filthy mind.
It's a Bengali and Lion-O episode for sure. Starting with the, hoo-hoo, I'm just a, make fun of my nursemaid. He is crazy, Bengali. He is crazy.
That quote better be made. That clip better be put on the Instagram.
Of course it will be. I want to say that they somehow come up with, it's a plant mutation happened when Thundera reformed. So this technically supposedly wasn't there before, but a mutation formed while
there was something there that wasn't there before.
Yeah, literally, Belle. So Bengali Snarfer come to the rescue in the Thunder Tank, but the monster's apparent immunity to all of their attacks makes them realize the gravity of the situation.
But we've still got to find Tygra.
So I gotta say, it's true. They were not prepared for this. This was a monster that really the Sword of Omens didn't defeat. He could see Tygra's powers. He took on the Thunder Tank. So this was actually a threat this whole entire episode. They were underprepared for this. And they end up getting mossed. They're mossed themselves now, Lion-O, Bengali. And Snarf and Snarfer. Snarfer says, this is the end of it. And then then Snarfer says, not yet. He has to get through me first. They get mossed. Unfortunately.
And then Jaga.
Lion-O says, I sense that someone friendly is here or something like that. Like, I sense that there's a friendly presence here.
I can sense that help is at hand.
Jaga, set a giant to beat a giant, Lion-O. Call on the ancient spirits of the ThunderCats, the stone giants. The stone giants.
Sword of Omens, summon the stone giants to our aid. Thunder, 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 ThunderCats.
What does he say? I have to speak in riddles.
What does he say?
Send a giant to best a giant.
Also, I saw what you did with Bengali last night.
You called Snarf crazy. How dare you, Lion-O? The mighty hammer of Bengali, Lion-O? What about the sword? The sword, Lion-O. So he says, send a giant to best a giant. So Lion-O, of course, realizes what this means. The stone giants in front of Cat's Lair. You remember those stone giants in the Valley of the Giants? I mean, this is actually a cool thing, to actually be a guardian that comes alive. So only one of them.
I would have sent both.
That the whole time I was like, couldn't both of them come? Or is that too unfair?
No, it's not. I would have sent both.
He calls the giant, I want to say, somehow.
He does thunder, thunder, ThunderCats ho, and then the ThunderCats signal goes through the canyon, flies around, and actually goes to the giant.
Only one giant's eye was caught, unfortunately. So he's like, oh, I guess it's me. And he goes, they're battling, and he notices that this giant isn't doing too well. Again,
the giant is starting to crumble.
Mossman.
The stone is starting to crack.
I noticed that too, and I was like, ooh, shabby work here. These relics from Third Earth's past that survived. Thundera's past.
I blame Mumm-ra. He's the one who reformed the planet.
He used some really subpar cement.
Quick dry cement.
Yeah, there he is. So Lion-O says, I feel like he needs the sword. The giant needs the sword. Let me try to free it. And he goes, he's moving under the moss and he frees the sword. And the sword flies to the giant.
And then grows to the giant
size.
size.
The giant size. So again, another thing the thing does.
The stone giant needs the sword. Got to try and move.
So I wrote it was an amazing fight. I loved the giants fighting. I actually thought that was a great idea to have. It wasn't just the sword. It wasn't just Jaga. It wasn't this. It was that. It was like, okay, for once, they didn't use the sword to bail them. I mean, I guess the sword did help, but the stone giant arrives armed with the sword of omens thrown to him by the partially mossed over Lion-O, and they save the day by turning the Mossland Monster into pea soup. Yeah, so they kind of melt the monster, and again, Tygra's last episode, he was, and Lion-O didn't talk down to him, and Benefits Bengali is like, oh, don't worry, Tygra, I replaced you, so don't worry, you could do whatever you want, make mistakes. You're going back to Third Earth anyway. But Tygra says, I was such a rush to get here that I went against. But again, we said it a million times, but this is out of character. I feel like season 1 Tygra would never do this. He was always like slow and calculated and, don't do that because this will probably happen, Lion-O. But unless, I mean, and I'm saying this in a joking way earlier, but unless being alone, majority, really desperation, you go from a community where you see a million ThunderCats every day and then you're by yourself in a tower toothpick.
With possibly shoddy construction.
With no defense mechanism, as we know. Maybe it is something. Or maybe once Lion-O became the official lord, he didn't need to be... He's like, oh, I guess he doesn't need my advice anymore. I could just revert to my temptations.
I don't know, but
Chitara
once this ends, then you see the same repetitive, repentive Tygra that blames himself for everything.
Yes.
If I wasn't hurrying, if I didn't do this, it wouldn't have never happened. And of course, Lion-O has to say it's not your fault and do this whole which has happened sort of before.
But it is your fault, Tygra, because you shouldn't have flown through a meteor shower. Honestly.
And at that point, Snarf kind of is very dismissive of the whole thing. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry. We have lots to talk about. Did you bring candy fruit?
But also, did you notice they had him doing multiple things in it? He was driving the Thunder Tank. Later on, it looked like he was driving a forklift to raise up the Feliner. Snarf. It's like, Snarf, look at you. Who said you were old 2 years ago? Now look at you. You're reversing age.
Whoa, Snarf. Steady as you go. Now. Okay, you got it.
Okay, everybody, let's go. The Snarf Wrecking Company is on the case.
Be with you in a minute, Snarf. But before we set off, I just want to apologize to you guys.
There's nothing to apologize about, Tygra. The important thing is that you're all in one piece.
More by luck than judgment, Lion-O. And if I'd have listened to you and Panthro in the first place, none of this would have happened.
Hey, Tygra, we understand.
Yeah, sure, of course we do. You were in a hurry to see your friends.
Yes, I was in a hurry to see you. But I still shouldn't have let my heart rule my head. By going through that meteor storm instead of around it, I ended up putting all of you at risk.
Enough said, Tygra. The main thing is, you're here.
Hey, Lion-O, never mind all that stuff. Tygra's come all the way from Third Earth. We've got a lot of important questions to ask him.
Oh, sure, Snarf. Go ahead.
Okay, Tygra, what I want to know is, did you bring any candy fruit with you?
ThunderCats! Ho!
I just think that they were really unprepared because they probably thought this was just a freaking easy bet, let's just rescue Tygra, let's get rid of the Moss Man. I don't think they realized that this Moss Man was going to be so strong and capable of fighting all of their powers. So, with that being said, here's some trivia before we get into the hose scale and the bungler. Throughout the episode, the Mossland Monster is referred to by various humorous names, including Overgrown Zucchini and the Jolly Green Giant.
Ho, ho, ho. Green Giant.
Jaga's advice to Lion-O, send a giant to beat a giant, echoes a line spoken by Lion-O in The Ghost Warrior, where he says, we fight a ghost with another ghost. Okay. Potato, patata. No, not patata. Potato, what is that? What's that
Potato,
word?
potato.
It is potato.
Potato, potato.
Oh my god. When Lion-O throws the Sword of Omens to the stone giant, it grows in size to match the size of the giant. Similarly, in the Ghost Warrior, Lion-O throws the sword to the gigantic spirit of Jaga and also grows to match him. And of course, this episode was Tygra's last appearance in 1985 ThunderCats. So, all that being said, David, your hose scale. My hose scale might be higher than
What's your hose scale? Because I'm going to leave it to you first because I have a different hose scale.
Last night, I enjoyed myself immensely watching this. I was like,
sounds
sounded
filthy.
This is really good. Okay, I'm going to explain it. No mumm-ra, a villain that still was able to best them. The stone giant Snarf being such a badass in this episode. Tygra's final appearance, 4.5? Out of 5? I mean, it's high, but out of these season 4 episodes so far, again, I liked this. It was different. Okay, yeah, it was a Moss Man. Everything around it, the double whammy, the stone giants. We got a Jaga appearance. Boom, boom, boom. I think it was higher on the ho scale for me. A higher ho.
Bring me a higher ho.
Yeah.
Let's see how the mighty hammer.
A higher
Let's
ho.
see how you liked the mighty hammer of Bengali. I liked the fact that they were defeated by something sort of seemingly
innocent,
easily defeated,
right.
Because you could think that it would just be fall apart because it's Moss. I liked that it was obviously my two favorites, Lion-O and Bengali. I liked the humor of it. There's a few things I didn't like. Obviously, I didn't like the fact that there had to be a dialogue to you need to contact Tygra. I thought that was kind of stupid. I didn't like the fact that they didn't believe Biggest aggravated me that they didn't believe Snarf at all. But I did think it was funny that he was making fun of him because it was funny to see them be so humorous and funny about it. So that was the setup for being funny.
But they were all in on that, Snarf being crazy, basically. They're like, yeah, look,
but
there
I
he
feel
is
like
again.
I think that they do that to Snarf, though. He's like the scapegoat. Even Panthro has poked at Snarf before. It's different, though, because I think when Panthro does it,
yes,
it's a more of a respected thing because it's like,
they're
I feel like
peers.
Snarf will be like, you're kind of stuffy and serious, where when Lion-O does it, I think it actually hurts Snarf's feelings.
Because of their relation. I totally agree.
I think it's a little bit different. I think when
agree.
Panther does it, because Snarf will be like, you're too, Snarf will be, I feel like Snarf has had this with Panther, it was like, he kind of tells him, you're a jerk, you're too, I feel like this has come up, he's been, when they switched bodies, it was almost like, you're a jerk, Panther, you're too whatever serious.
He was too hard on him.
You're too harsh, where I think that gives them equal footing in a different way, where when Lion-O does it, it's like, you're hurting my feelings because I should be more precious to you or more important to you than to minimize me or make fun of me. So I think it's a different thing.
Especially since we've seen for 4 seasons that Snarf doesn't
taken on,
but he doesn't lie. He doesn't lie.
He's taken on mumm-ra.
He's taken on mumm-ra
with no powers whatsoever. At least the other ThunderCats have weapons, abilities. Snarf is kind of an overweight house cat that can talk to some animals that has.
But he is immune to everything. Thankfully for the Snarf blood that runs through him, he is immune. So what would you give it on the host scale then?
I'm gonna give it. Well, the thing is, judging by again some of the other episodes, I'm ranking it higher because I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 4.52 because collectively speaking, it's probably higher Thundera because I liked, of course, I love that it was Lion-O and Bengali heavy. I like the fact that the creature did defeat them because...
Yes.
And I liked the humor in it. So maybe a 4.3. I'm going to say 4.3.
4.3, okay.
4.3. It's pretty high up there.
Okay, so then, of course, we have who was our biggest bungler?
You are a worthless, bungling idiots! Bunglers! You bungler! Once again, you have failed. You bungled it!
Bunglers, multiple bunglers, Tygra?
First bungle, major bungle, Tygra. I feel like Tygra is...
Out of character, Tygra.
Tygra is the biggest bungler because he didn't use common sense. Common sense would tell you don't put yourself in needless danger when, even though it may have added on a little bit more time. It's not like he had to use the bathroom and he was trying to get through quicker.
Earlier I was going to say that it was like, when you're in space and you have to travel.
It wasn't like, oh my God, I had some.
He's wearing diapers.
I ate some of Robert Roberto's Mexican and it was hitting my stomach wrong. Like I had Taco Bell last night.
Oh my God, I love that story where the astronaut woman from like 20 years ago, she drove across country in space diapers
because she was crazy.
Her boyfriend, to kill her boyfriend or something.
We're not talking about that. So I think that he is the biggest bungler because he set in motion. The moss creature was, I don't think he was set free because of it.
No,
but he woke up and kind of came to the surface because of it. He damaged the ship.
The Feliner was damaged.
He damaged the Feliner. He caused the problems to begin with, and he created this whole situation, this whole scenario. He would have just landed, and they would have had a nice visit. So he's the biggest bungler in that sense. I feel like it was a bungle to basically have to tell Panther to tell him to do it, to tell him that there was a meteor shower, because I think that was stupid, because again, it's that lack of communication that could have caused issues if he didn't say anything at all. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered because he still would have done the wrong thing at this point.
Right. He was going to do it
but
anyway.
Still, that's a bungle, again, that seems to be a big thing with them, like not communicating as well. He shouldn't have had to tell him.
That is a big thing.
I was also a bungle not to believe Snarf, because I feel like if he would have rolled back the footage, he would have seen this creature and maybe they would have been more prepared. Maybe they could have analyzed what kind of creature it was.
Yes.
Oh, this is a creature made of moss. And, maybe shooting through it would go right through it. Maybe we need to analyze its material and see what would, maybe we can freeze it with a freeze ray or something, because it's organic or something. Like, that's a bungle where they could have been more strategic about doing something like that may have, other than just brute force, because that doesn't always work in these situations. Smart. So that's a bungle, but ultimately Tygra, biggest bungler.
I think Tygra for sure. And it is, though, a big one was not believing Snarf for some reason. Like, I get it. Like, it's just like a throwaway line again. I don't think the writers thought it was that serious, but at this point, believe Snarf. So I want to say Lion-O for that, but Tygra. And maybe, though, this was all an elaborate plan to get the Feliner to have to take a little extra time. So Chitara's like,
Tygra's like, if I just beat the Feliner up a little bit, just a little bit, and maybe I can say that I hurt myself and I can't really fly it for a while.
I have an on-site injury, Lion-O.
I twisted my bolo too hard, Lion-O.
Oh my God, Snarf has to take care of him. Gotta give him a little bell. And Chitara's like, I know he's not injured. I feel it, Lion-O. He's not injured. So, oh my God. Okay, bunglers. Of course, we want to know who you think is the biggest bungler in this episode, and why is it Tygra and possibly
of course,
Lion-O?
Please give us a thumbs up, like, follow, tell us we're wonderful and beautiful. Tell me you love me.
My God.
If you've been with me this long, it's time to marry me. And marrying me means, I'll tell you what I told my husband after being with me a year. You should know by now if you really love me. And if you really love me, you really need to go to the score by now. You need to go to Apple and leave a comment. And you need to go to Spotify and you need to give us the thumbs up, and you need to leave a comment, a positive one.
Oh, please.
And tell us, because this really helps us beat the algorithm, because that is a big thing. And I'm finding pointing that out. And it's not even like, again, we're not trying to be millionaires off of the podcast or anything. We're just we want people to see and know it exists, because there are many people have come up and like, we didn't even know you. I'm like, we've been here for like doing this for 5 years, and like, we didn't even know you existed. And I'm like, how do you not? We're the only podcast that actually is doing ThunderCats, and people don't even know we exist, and people want this stuff.
Yes.
Like, even our crazy, weird, chaotic ThunderCats, they like it. We're not high enough on the algorithm list, and it's like crazy to me.
You know, we had really quickly, we had a composer from House of Wax, John Ottman. Actually, we had a few videos from him. And David, just like last week on YouTube, there's not a lot of John Ottman videos. Let's just say House of Wax, because it was for House of Wax. 4th, 5th page we came up. It's literally, YouTube does not push you unless you're literally writing the word out of the video, and they still will not
unless
push
you sleep with somebody. And I haven't done that.
And Bengali might be willing to at this point. He seems to be a big flirt.
Now you're talking.
Laying the hammer down.
He did his fingers like this. You can't see it off camera, but I'm circling. And
I would like to see the mighty hammer. I'm not trying to show the mighty hammer of David to get views, but in seriousness, I'm like,
tell a friend, phone a friend.
No, but seriously, if you are a listener and you do have Apple, please leave a comment. Please leave a comment and give a thumbs up.
With your 2 cents a day,
you can help feed
two
David.
Quarters. These 2
You can help
quarters.
this hoe.
We're having Alyssa Milano record a UNICEF commercial, or Selena Gomez. I think she did it last.
She did it?
I think she did it after Alyssa.
Okay.
So that's the last reference I have for the UNICEF. For these 2 cents a day, you can make 2 podcasters very happy. But Bunglers, you do make us happy. We love you. We love your support. And of course, we love that you're excited about ThunderCats and continuing it, because we're not going anywhere soon with ThunderCats. We're going to have a lot more.
And we have
ThunderCats
really amazing people from the ThunderCats.
Yeah, in this stretch, we're literally in the home stretch. It's like fingers, like counting how many episodes we have left. I can't believe it. After 4 years of this, 5 years of the pod, we should have started the first year.
Why?
I think we did. We started in January.
Everything happens the way it's supposed to.
And like David said, if you have the time, it would be amazing to leave a written review on Amazon. The written reviews, on Apple. It really does help the written ones. Or a like or a comment. Spotify, you can give us a thumbs up. You can also follow us at Radical Retro Rewind Podcast, one word, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and beyond. ThunderCats 1985 reviews on Instagram, and Universal Appeal 2020, all one word, for David on his Instagram. In 2 weeks, Bunglers, look forward to Matesh and 2 more episodes: Mutt's Confusion and The Shadow Master. Ooh.
Not to be confused with Mole Master.
No, Mole Master, no, but we can't wait. This is a long time coming. Matesh is just going to be, it's just going to be an amazing experience. So look forward to that. And David, it sounds like it's time again. I mean, I don't know, by the end of the series, if you're going to be sick of being called a hoe as many times, 144 something times, I want to say. 144 hoes. But ThunderCats, ho!
Now for everybody out there, you know that I've always been your hoe. And I'm always gonna be your hoe. I'm your hoe forever.
Oh my God. Oh, he's doing MSR. ASR. MSN.
MSNBC.
M&M's.
I'm into M&M's.
He's doing that M&M's. He's doing M&M's. He's doing M&M's.
Not S&M, but M&M's.
ASR? ASR.
ABC, NBC. Maybe I should start talking like this.
Yes.
I can do the podcast like this from now on.
Merry Christmas. Chat. Oh my God. Ho. Hey,
ho. Bye.
Mossman fooled you. Yeah!